To any Cubs fan that is watching right now, I just want to say I'm sorry, but I have to show this edit. Look at how clean this is. The jersey swap of Anthony Rizzo in a Yankees jersey, holding up Javier Baez in his Mets jersey, along with Chris Bryant off to the side celebrating in his Giants jersey. Hey, the silver lining is some of these guys can come back to Chicago. Remember how the Cubs traded for Aroldis Chapman and then he went directly back to the Yankees? Maybe that happens with Chris Bryant. Maybe that happens with Javier Baez. So let me know in the comment section down below. If you're a Cubs fan, do you want any of these guys back, or do you think it's time to start fresh? Either way, what's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. If this is your first time on the channel, we do this every single day, so don't be afraid to hit subscribe. We're so close to 350K. Also, don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek if you want to save 20 bucks off minor league tickets or big league tickets if you're going to any games. Now, I do want to mention that Reed Detmers, the number 10 overall pick from the 2020 draft, he throws gas. He is going to be so good. He's making his debut today. He had 106 strikeouts in 60 innings in the minors, so he is going to be a Chris Sale type player. I'm so excited for Angels fans because they keep on whiffing on pitchers. Maybe he's going to be that guy. And speaking of 10th overall picks, Kumar Rocker was selected 10th overall by the Mets in 2021, and he has yet to sign. The deadline is today. They have until 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to sign Kumar Rocker, but I guess the medical didn't go through, something with his elbow or throwing arm. Now, Kumar Rocker is a superstar in the making. In 2019, he had a 19 strikeout no-hitter. Him and Jack Leiter absolutely dominated college baseball. So the Mets fan base are kind of on their toes right now. They just traded for Javier Baez. I think the cherry on top would be signing Kumar Rocker. I think it's going to get done, but we're going to have to wait and see. Now, before we talk about the pitcher that was banned, and also Starlin Castro of the Nationals, who was having a really good month of July, he has been banned as well. And we also have 3 different walk-offs. I do want to give you guys an update on Fernando Tatis. Apparently, a couple hours after his injury, he was having a whole lot better range of motion in that shoulder and feeling better. However, if he doesn't feel good after this 10-day IL stint, they will be pushing off the rest of the season for Fernando Tatis and going into surgery. I'm hoping and praying to the baseball gods that is not the answer, because Tatis, he's going to win MVP if he comes back and plays like Tatis. It's almost a done deal because DeGrom, he's missed way too much time. So if you're a Padres fan, let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think that you're good enough to beat the Giants or the Dodgers? Should you just allow Fernando Tatis to get the surgery and get better, or do you think they should bring him back and try and go for a wild card spot, or maybe first place in the division? Now, we all know Hector Santiago was suspended for 10 games because of a sticky substance that was found in his glove, and now for the second time of the season, he has been banned, but this time 80 games for PEDs, and he came out and said that he is going to accept this suspension. He is not going to appeal it because he knows that he was cheating. So now I'm starting to think that maybe he was using that sticky stuff because he was trying everything to stay in baseball and be good so he can get paid. Now, a lot of people say I don't fault him for doing that because you want to make your family some money, but then again, 2 different bans in one season. Ugh. Now, I did mention that Starlin Castro was banned as well for some off-the-field stuff. He is going to be gone for 30 games, and I'm hearing reports that even though he's going to be back before the season ends, the Nationals are going to drop him, so he's probably done in Major League Baseball if you're asking me. All right, let's move on over to the games that happened yesterday. The Rangers versus the Mariners. This was a crazy fun walk-off. We have Kyle Seager hitting a 2-run shot off a lefty. Over his last 163 games, he has combined for 31 home runs, 104 RBIs, and a 112 OPS plus, so Seager has been terrific. Tyler Anderson, he was making his debut. He had 8 strikeouts and was cruising up until Jonah Heim. We'll talk about him later on in the game as well. Hits a 2-run shot in the 5th. Then you have Nate Lowe singling an RBI before Dylan Moore makes a fantastic play over in left field. He starts a double play, and then Ty France ties it up. And then you have Crawford giving the Mariners a lead in the top of the 10th, and Diego Castillo, who was just acquired from the Rays, they gave away Kendall Graveman, so hopefully Castillo, he can't. Castillo blows it on a 2-run shot to Jonah Heim. I'm almost certain that this is going to be a tops now moment in MLB The Show. So the Rangers, they walk off the Mariners and they win 5-4. Moving on over to the Mets versus the Reds, you have A. Eugenio Suarez hitting his 20th home run of the year, and he raises his OPS plus to 58, which is 42 points below average, even though he has been fairly productive, but then he has a negative 2.1 WAR. So he's driving in runs and hitting home runs, but he's been terrible at defense and he has a low batting average. so he's like the opposite of Joey Gallo. Javier Baez hits his first home run in his first game with the New York Mets in the 6th inning, and Francisco Lindor, his buddy, was hyped up. Joey Votto just barely missed history by about 2 inches. This would have been a home run in 8 consecutive games. Dom Smith, he was clutch yesterday. He ties it up, and then Brandon Drury, he walks it off in the final inning. So Javier Baez and Anthony Rizzo both homered in their debut with their new teams. Chris Bryant, he is debuting today. I'm so excited to see what he looks like in that uniform. Will he hit a home run just like his former teammates? I guess we'll have to wait and see. And then last but not least, for the walk-offs, we have the Pirates versus the Phillies. This is kind of a must-win game for the Phillies, but unfortunately, Kevin Newman drives in an RBI on a triple in the 1st inning, and Ben Gamble with one of the luckiest base hits I've seen all year. This drops in no man's land in the 3rd, and JT Brubaker only allows 1 earned run in 6 innings. Aaron Nola wasn't too bad. He allows 2 earned runs, and Bryce Harper, he gets Nola off the hook for the loss. He ties it up in the 8th. Bryce Harper, over his last 141 games, has 29 home runs, 20 stolen bases, a .413 on base percentage, and a 151 WRC plus. If you call Bryce Harper overrated, you have no idea what you're talking about. Now, again, like I mentioned, unfortunately, the Phillies do take the L because Jacob Stallings hits his 4th walk-off of the year already. The Phillies have lost 2 games in a row, and they're not looking good offensively. You know who does look a whole lot better offensively? The New York Yankees, and I have to say Rougned Odor is a big part of that, and also Anthony Rizzo. So Odor drives in Anthony Rizzo on a single, and Gary makes it 2-0, as German Marquez only went 4, but he gave up 2 earned runs, so he wasn't his best self. But I do want to mention he had the number 16 drawn on his hat, and that was for Jose Fernandez. Jose Fernandez would have turned 29 yesterday. I can't believe it's already been 5 years since he passed away. Anthony Rizzo, he scores in the 5th on a wild pitch, and then he smashes his 2nd home run in his 2nd game. He has been an on-base machine for the Yankees so far. Now, on the flip side, Gallo, he is 3 for 42 since the All-Star break, so they traded for him at the perfect time, in my opinion, because what do we know about Joey Gallo? He gets really cold, and then he gets extremely hot. So Joey Gallo is about to break out. The Yankees improved to 2.5 games back of the A's for the wild card. Now, moving on to another AL East team, we're going to talk about the Jays. George Springer hit his 1st home run in the city of Toronto, and then he adds his 2nd on a 412-foot moonshot. Marcus Semien, we haven't talked about him too much in the 2nd half, but he triples in Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Alek Manoah was fantastic. 7 shutout innings on 2 base hits. He lowers his ERA to 2.47, and the Jays, they have won 3 games in a row, so they're just 3.5 games back of the wild card. They are going to be fighting almost neck and neck with the Yankees the rest of the year. The Rays versus the Red Sox, you have Xander Bogaerts going the other way for his 16th home run. That was loud. Sorry, that was my weekly screen time report. I need to get off my phone. Either way, let's get back to baseball. Ji-Man Choi hits a 2-run shot, and the game is tied up on some bad defense from the Boston Red Sox. Francisco Mejia, while it was a wall scraper, he hits a home run, and then Bobby Dahlbeck, I absolutely love his swing, and when he knows a ball is going a long way, I just love the way that he struts and looks at it. So he ties up the ball game at 5-5. But then Wander Franco has an RBI triple in the 6th inning. I want to show this full clip because Wander Franco, he's got to be one of the fastest players in baseball. So he drives an RBI on this triple and then adds another one on an RBI single in the 8th inning as Francisco Mejia caps off a 4 RBI day. And then Chris Mazza, he strikes out 2 in the 9th as Boston is now in 2nd place. They are a half game back of the Rays, but help is on the way. Chris Sale, he was looking nasty in his latest minor league start. So we've had a lot of Game of the Year candidates. Cleveland versus White Sox yesterday. It has to be in the conversation as well. You have Brian Goodwin hitting a home run after a lot of White Sox fans have been saying, get this guy off the squad. And then Seby Zavala hits his first career home run, and Ahmed Rosario goes yard as well at 112 miles per hour. That was the hardest hit ball of his career. Seby comes in with his first multi-home run game on a grand slam. Owen Miller also hit his first home run of his career for Cleveland. You have Austin Hedges going 419 feet as Cleveland rips it open for a 5-run 6th inning, and Big Harold drives in 2 RBIs on a double to make it 10-6. So I'm thinking this is an easy W. No, Seby Zavala out of nowhere has 3 career home runs all in the same game. This one to the opposite side. And then J-Ram, he makes it 12-8 with a double in the 8th inning. The White Sox, they were not done yet. This is why this is a Game of the Year candidate. You have Adam Engel and Jose Abreu making it 12-11. Then we got to see Craig Kimbrell Rizzo make his debut for the White Sox with a perfect 1-2-3 inning to lower his season ERA to .48. Just unfortunately for Chicago fans, Emmanuel Clase was on top of his game. His 13th save. I love playing the White Sox. Yeah, it's kind of annoying because they're really good, but I was upset that Luis Robert was injured, and same with Nick Madrigal, because the White Sox versus Cleveland series, for whatever reason, are always madness. So GG's White Sox fans, I actually like interacting with them on Twitter. They're not crazy like a lot of other fan bases. Moving on over to a few NL West teams, we have the Giants beating the Astros, but this was a fun back and forth game as well. Donovan Solano, I call him Donnie Barrels, he hits a home run, but then the Astros, they score 3 on a Diaz home run and an error from Wilmer Flores, but Wilmer Flores says, I got you guys. He goes 363 feet for a home run, and Lamont Wade Jr. pimps one to McCovey Cove. He has 13 home runs and a 146 OPS plus. Just Diaz and Correa, they tied up for the Astros. Then you have Darren Ruff and Maldonado trading home runs to keep it tied. Brandon Crawford in the 6th inning, and Mike Yastrzemski. Every time I say his name, I think of Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc. Yastrzemski hits a home run in the 8th, and Jake McGee converts his 22nd save of the year. We have the Dodgers versus the Diamondbacks. Chris Taylor is so good. He is going to get some MVP votes, and Max Muncy follows it up with an RBI. Chris Taylor then steals home. I haven't seen the play live, so I don't know if it was a straight steal or what happened, but he did. Arizona, they fight back to tie it up. Cole Calhoun and Nick Ahmed, they both hit home runs, but then JT, Mr. Turner hits a 2-run shot, and then Albert Pujols drives in an RBI in the 7th and the 9th inning. So the Dodgers are just 3 games back of the Giants, even though they're 4-6 in their last 10 games. The Rockies faced off against the Padres yesterday, and Chuck Nasty drove in an RBI on a ground out, and Brendan Rodgers is now up to 9 home runs and a 107 OPS plus in 53 games. That's pretty solid. Jake Cronenworth, we enter the Crone zone. He hits a 2-run shot to tie it, but then you have Elias Diaz and starting pitcher German Marquez both homering as Connor Joe drives an RBI in the 6th. Profar, he gets K'd up on a terrible call, and it was kind of all downhill for San Diego. They fall to almost 7 games back, but they're still in 2nd place for the wild card, so there's that. And Darvish was terrible in the month of July. Jorge Solaire was making his debut for the Braves. He has not played right field in quite some time, and of course the ball is hit to him. He makes a decent play, and then he has his first base hit in the 4th, which allows Dansby Swanson to drive in Austin Riley. Muller goes 5 innings with 7 strikeouts, only 1 earned run, and Dansby Swanson, after a blown call from the umpire, gives him one more opportunity. He hits a 430-foot bomb. Jorge Solaire drives in his first RBI, and Swanson caps off a 7 RBI day with a grand slam as the Braves destroy a really good team in the Brewers and Brandon Woodruff. The Twins, they had an easy W yesterday against the Cardinals. I guess we'll kind of go through this game fairly quick. Sano drives in an RBI on a double. Same with Luis Ariz, and Jeffers now has 9 RBIs over his last 2 games. Bailey Ober had 6 strikeouts and 4 innings, and Astudillo makes it 8 runs as the Cardinals are way out, but about 6.5 games back of the wild card. Another shutout between the A's and the Angels. Ohtani rips a double in the 3rd. He now has a .280 batting average versus lefties. Both starting pitchers were fantastic, but Berea, he outduels Cole Irvin because he shuts out the A's, and Rizzo picks up his 22nd save of the year. The Orioles versus the Tigers. Mountcastle drives in an RBI, and Eric Haas, who right now is the Rookie of the Year over Akil Baddoo and anyone else, maybe even Annalise Garcia. Maikel Franco unties it in the 5th, and some horrible defense from the Tigers makes it 3-1. A lot of Tigers fans are saying, get Willie Castro off the squad. Pat Velika plates 2 as John Means shoved it yesterday. 1 earned run on 6 strikeouts in 6 innings, and Sussler strikes out 2 for his 5th save, and the Tigers are looking like the Tigers lately. And last but not least, the Cubs are up for 4 runs in the 4th inning. It was capped off by a 2-run shot from Rafael Ortega. Jason Hayward makes it 6-1, and Kyle Hendricks, what a sweet, sweet man, goes 7 innings with 1 earned run. He is so good as a starting pitcher, one of the more underrated pitchers in baseball. Actually, I would go as far to say he might be the most underrated player in baseball. Newcomer Cody Hoyer, he gets the Cubs out of a jam. Huge 3 consecutive outs on 9 pitches to limit the damage as the Nationals, they tried to make the comeback because Rex Brothers was horrible, but Hoyer saves the day. That does it for today's MLB recap. Thank you all so much for watching. Do not forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself $20 off. Stay safe, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.